Lively steps out for the premiere of Another Simple Favor amid the Justin Baldoni drama. The actress, who reprises her role as Emily Nelson in the upcoming movie.
Have you ever watched a Hollywood reunion and thought, there's no way this level of awkward is staged? The stiff smiles, the forced compliments, the eyes avoiding each other like it's a competitive sport? Yeah, Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively are serving exactly that energy. Their red carpet reunion for Another Simple Favor has officially become the most unintentionally hilarious comeback tour of the year. And when two A-listers look this uncomfortable, you know there's a bigger story simmering underneath. Welcome back to Red Hot Insights, your source for everything juicy, messy, and impossible to ignore. Today we're diving into the long-rumored feud between Anna and Blake, an on-again, off-again tension that has exploded back into the spotlight just as Blake finds herself tangled in a massive legal disaster over It Ends With Us, a scandal dragging her name through every headline for all the wrong reasons. Meanwhile, Anna's perfectly subtle, perfectly pointed side eyes at the recent SXSW premiere have sent the internet into a frenzy of theories. And just so we're clear, everything you're about to hear comes from reputable sources, direct quotes, or what fans witnessed firsthand. So if you're ready to understand why Anna Kendrick is done pretending and why Blake Lively is staring down the worst PR crisis of her career, keep watching.
Sequel to 2018's A Simple Favor arrives at the South by Southwest Film Festival March 7th, rocking a short-sleeve A-line dress with a polka dot hemline for the occasion.
Because once you see these interviews, you will never look at them the same way again. When A Simple Favor first hit theaters, the buzz wasn't just about the plot. Social media instantly zeroed in on the strange, uneasy dynamic between Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. Sure, they've smiled for cameras and tossed out polite compliments about each other's comedic timing, but in every clip, there was this unmistakable undercurrent of tension. Awkward pauses, darting glances, stiff posture, and laughter that felt more forced than friendly. Fans started asking the obvious question: were Anna and Blake actually friends, or just two professionals gritting their teeth through a press tour for the sake of box office success? Body language analysts joined in, noting how Anna would shift her weight or cross her arms whenever Blake spoke, while Blake would subtly roll her eyes when Anna cracked a joke. At first, it seemed like the usual Hollywood gossip cycle, but the rumors refused to die down. Even after the film left theaters, blogs kept hinting at behind-the-scenes bickering, and insiders whispered that Lionsgate had to schedule interviews carefully so the two leads wouldn't be stuck alone together. Both actresses stayed silent, moved on to new projects, and avoided mentioning each other entirely. But the tension lingered, a quiet fuse waiting for the next spark. And that spark came fast. The moment the sequel, Another Simple Favor, was announced, the internet lost its mind. Fans were excited, sure, but everyone wanted to know, how would Anna and Blake survive a reunion? Those questions were answered instantly at the SXW red carpet. The vibe was painfully uncomfortable. Fake smiles, stiff poses, and energy so off it practically hummed. Blake slipped into full media darling mode, showering the press with canned enthusiasm about working with Anna again, while Anna kept her responses short, polite, and noticeably distant. Then came the interviews, and when Anna was asked how it felt to be back on set with Blake, her curt, clipped answer said everything. Fans dissected the footage frame by frame, the downward glance, the half shrug, the please let's move on laugh. Twitter erupted, calling Blake's energy over the top and praising Anna for not pretending. But as awkward as that reunion was, it was barely a prelude to the real chaos looming behind the scenes. Because in a twist wilder than any Hollywood script, Blake is now caught in a massive high-stakes legal battle involving It Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni. Accusations flying, countersuits launched, reputations on the line, and even Ryan Reynolds pulled into the crossfire.
Simple Favor director Paul Feig claps back at Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick feud rumors. The director, who worked with the two actresses on the 2018 film A Simple Favor,
with a countersuit worth a jaw-dropping $400 million. The stakes couldn't be higher. Yes, we're talking hundreds of millions, multiple lawsuits, and a full-blown trial already locked in for March 2026. It's not just Blake Lively's reputation on the line anymore, it's her entire career hanging by a thread. Public opinion is split straight down the middle. Some fans are convinced Blake is telling the truth, while others see this as a ruthless Hollywood power play, one star trying to outmaneuver another in the messiest way possible. So, how does all of this connect back to Another Simple Favor? Well, imagine trying to charm your way through a press store while simultaneously dodging legal grenades, PR disasters, and an escalating industry scandal that has your name plastered across every headline. On top of promoting a new film, Blake Lively is simultaneously the center of a scandalous courtroom saga, forced to answer questions about her movie and her legal battles at the same time. Talk about stress. And sitting right beside her, watching it all unfold, is Anna Kendrick, who famously doesn't hide her feelings when tensions rise. Reporters, of course, couldn't resist asking if Blake's legal troubles were affecting the sequel, a question that's been repeated so often it's turned interviews into exercises in awkwardness, with Anna staring at the floor, shrugging, or searching for the nearest escape. Their co-star Henry Golding may not be in the sequel, but if he were, you can bet he'd be stepping aside too, trying to avoid the aftershocks. The more Blake and Anna try to smile through the chaos, the more fans suspect that something deeper, something intensely personal is fueling this tension. In an effort to calm the media storm, Another Simple Favor director Paul Feig stepped in with some damage control, praising both actresses. But the red carpet drama and the courtroom firestorm make it clear this story is far from over. Director Paul Feig tried to quell the rumors, calling Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively two of the smartest actors he's ever worked with, and insisting there's zero feud. Any whispers of bad blood, he claimed, are just that. Rumors. But fans aren't buying it because the red carpet footage tells a very different story. Sure, you can stage a group photo, but genuine camaraderie can't be faked. Social media users and professional body language experts alike dissected the SXWS interviews frame by frame, pointing out every awkward shift, forced smile that looked more like a grimace, clenched jaw, fleeting eye contact, and half-hearted laugh. Feig's reassurances only fueled the speculation. If everything was really fine, why did the two actresses appear so disconnected? Some fans even wondered if the studio was desperately trying to protect the film's reputation, knowing that negative press can tank box office numbers after millions spent on marketing. But for Anna and Blake, no amount of damage control seems capable of hiding the tension simmering just below the surface. With the internet dissecting every single detail and more than ready to weigh in, if there's one place where the lines are clearly drawn, it's Twitter.
Recently released sequel Another Simple Favor responds to YouTuber Melanie King's allegation on X March 7th that Lively was terrified to walk the carpet.
Hours after the SXSW premiere, hashtags like Team Anna and Team Blake were blowing up across social media. On one side, fans praised Anna Kendrick for her authenticity, applauding her refusal to plaster on a fake, bubbly grin in an industry dominated by manufactured smiles. One viral tweet read, "At least Anna isn't faking the friend act. Can't fault her for being real." On the other side, Blake Lively supporters argued that her high-energy optimism should be admired, not mocked, noting that she was doing her best to keep the promotion positive, despite the mountain of stress from her legal battles. One Blake fan tweeted, "She's going through an insane lawsuit and still shows up looking amazing and smiling for fans. Give her a break." Even so, the overwhelming sentiment online seemed to favor Anna, likely because many viewers found Blake's over-the-top persona a little too much to handle. Blake Lively can't stop talking about everything, but especially the elephant in the room, her ongoing tension with Anna Kendrick. Meanwhile, Anna's body language is screaming, "I'm done." It's not just fans noticing either. Memes have exploded online showing Anna's glazed-over expression every time Blake starts monologuing, while reaction videos parody the red carpet moments with comedic voiceovers, highlighting just how forced the entire situation feels. This only adds fuel to the fire, making it nearly impossible for either actress to escape the wave of public scrutiny. And what does this mean for the future of the franchise? In a strange twist, Blake casually mentioned the possibility of a third Simple Favor movie during an SXSW Q&A, sounding almost giddy about filming in Capri or another glamorous location. The problem? Anna's face told a completely different story. In the clip that went viral, you can practically see her soul leaving her body as Blake gushes about the idea. She glances at the floor, fiddles with her hands, and avoids eye contact like it's the plague. It's as if she's silently screaming, "Girl, can we please not do this?" Unsurprisingly, fans pounced on the moment, with one tweet summing it up perfectly. Anna's expression is me whenever. A coworker suggesting a pointless Friday afternoon meeting? That's the energy. One fan joked online that Blake is living in a fantasy world if she thinks Anna is signing up for a third installment. Yikes! Industry insiders aren't optimistic either. With the second film already overshadowed by legal battles and swirling rumors, Blake's court saga could dominate headlines and eclipse every move she makes, especially if public sympathy begins to wane. Conversely, Anna's brand thrives on being witty, relatable, and just a touch sardonic, which only amplifies the contrast between the two actresses as the media spotlight keeps shifting between glamour, tension, and courtroom drama.
How's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
If Anna gets labeled difficult because of this feud, it could put a serious dent in her reputation. Producers and directors notice these things when casting, and nobody wants the headache of on-set drama. If Anna comes across as too snarky or competitive, and Blake is seen as someone constantly embroiled in chaos, both risk losing out on major projects. On the flip side, controversy can also fuel fame. Legendary Hollywood rivalries are still talked about decades later, and feuds often stoke public interest, which can translate into box office dollars. So will this tension ultimately help or hurt them? Right now, it's anyone's guess. What's clear is that neither can maintain the facade forever. Sooner or later, something, or someone, is going to crack. At this point, the Another Simple Favor promotional tour feels less about the movie and more about the spectacle of Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively's cringe-filled interactions. Fans aren't tuning in to hear them discuss plot points. They're watching every awkward glance, stiff smile, and forced laugh. Plot twists and comedic beats? Forget them! Fans are here for the side-eye glances, the awkward laughs, and the tension that makes this press tour far more entertaining than the average junket. We've got a Hollywood feud that might be realer than most, a massive legal showdown dragging Blake Lively through endless headlines, and a director desperately trying to convince everyone that nothing's wrong. Meanwhile, social media has picked sides. Anna emerges as the unlikely hero for her unfiltered reactions, while Blake, for all her glamour and quick wit, struggles to keep up appearances while facing serious allegations that could change her career forever. Are we witnessing the implosion of a once promising Hollywood partnership, or just another carefully staged drama to keep us talking about the film? Honestly, it might be a little both. Hollywood thrives on illusion, but when personal grudges and legal battles collide, it becomes impossible to pretend everything's peachy. So what do you think? Is this feud blown out of proportion, or the genuine meltdown it appears to be? Will we ever see Another Simple Favor 3, or is the franchise dead before it can truly take off? Drop a comment with your thoughts. Team Anna, Team Blake, or somewhere in between. One thing's for sure, the story is far from over. With lawsuits looming, potential projects in flux, and every gesture scrutinized by fans, the Anna Kendrick-Blake Lively saga is only going to get more complicated. Hollywood thrives on drama, but even by those standards, this one feels especially juicy. Stay tuned, keep your eyes open, and remember, in Tinseltown, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. See you next time, gossip lovers. This show isn't over yet.